Yes, guys, if you're watching this, I'm sharing you 5 tips on how you can improve your exam, on how you can get good scores. All right. So these 5 tips include, because recently I just finished my exam. Today is on the 18th of December 2022. We started the exam of last week. We did practical, and we started the theory paper on the 12th. Right. So throughout the week, I've been going to school just to write the exam, because it's exam which you write a paper today, a paper tomorrow, a paper next tomorrow. But there's one tip I used which we just finished writing, guys. And after writing yesterday, which is the 17th of December 2022, we just went to see our coordinator, and our coordinator is a teacher who teaches some few topics. So when she saw us, she was like, "Achievement, you did very well." And when she told me that, I knew that my technique really worked, right? So that is why I'm sharing it, making this video for every physiotherapy student or anybody who cares to watch 5 good tips on how you can improve your grade. All right, so the tips is basically something I construct is between, in, and during the exam time. All right, let's start with in yourself. Right now we are sitting, the exam is coming up, and you are tensed. All right, guys, don't worry. All right, don't just worry yourself. I got you covered. There's something called motivation. I was doing that. I know that my class is a very challenging class, because everybody in my own class is very, very good. I mean, seriously good. None of us are dullards. All right. Last exam, our first examination, we after the results were out, everybody passed. Whereas other class were having backlogs, other people were failing, but my own class, everybody passed. And it was in a way like a competition. Though I was not the topper, but we were fighting with each other. Right? It was a very serious competition. So what I did was telling myself that I'm the best among my class. So I was when the exam was coming up, I was very nervous. I was like, how can I impress this teacher? How can I write to get a very good grade, to impress this teacher? That is what I was just thinking of. But I said no. That should not be the issue. The issue should be pushing myself beyond what I'm feeling right now. All right. So what I did, number one tips, I used motivation. So you can see I'm wearing this a jacket because it's winter period right now. So everybody just feel like to cover themselves in the blanket and do nothing, guys. So when I hit my chest and sing my motivation, I constructed the motivation song. It goes like this: I am the best. I am the best. I am the best. There's a way I sing that song. So when I sing it, I motivate myself that I'm the best among my folks in the class. It makes me to push the blanket off my body, and I'll just come straight and start studying. And sometimes whenever I feel like I'm getting tired of studying, I'll know that I need some break, I need some rest. I'll just lie down in the bed. And guys, I'll be giving you my strategy of study. All right. So number one point, I use motivation. Then my strategy of study. Guys, we have PPT sent to us, like what is it called? PowerPoint presentation, which the teachers has made. They send it to us to refer from the PowerPoint presentation and make our notes. Right. We have like, especially the coordinator, she likes sending us textbooks. Right, so she sent us textbook notes from textbooks, which was sent to us to our email. So all these materials we use in making our notes or studying from, to refer back to what she has taught in the class. So what I did after my motivation, I went straight with my pen. I will start writing point wise. For example, if we have a topic of concentration, for example, so in that concentration, I'll write down the point of defining the concentration. I will not be writing everything in the textbook. I will write point wise, define concentration, types of concentration, what are the models of the concentration, what are the techniques of concentration, what are this, what are that. So those are the point wise where the questions are coming from in the exam, because they won't be asking you epidemiology or history or you writing something else. They will be asking you point wise. That is how it comes in exam. So I'm writing point wise, and I made my own notes. Very important. All right. So writing that point wise in a note form. Some topics does not have too much point wise information, but they have some technique which you must write down. For example, there's a topic I was writing on the 12th, that was pedology. It has models of learning, and those models are something which we have not heard of, like it's not so common. Curriculum of learning and some techniques, and they just need them, they wrote them down. So we have to remember like Taylor model, HIDA model, or something like that. So I wrote them in point wise, guys. All right. So after writing all these notes, and we combine, one good thing about my class, we combine all these syllables, everything that is being taught. We'll keep it in a list. All right. We'll have the list of everything that has been taught. Then we'll study each of these lists. All right. So I use the lists and make notes of everything that has been taught. Notebook. I made notes. All right. Point wise. All right. So after making my note, now it's easy to go to the next step, which is repetition, guys. It is very difficult. Some people feel like, I remember when I was in my first year, I don't have this idea. All right. Some people feel like we are reading this stuff, but we are not understanding it. Now this is where I'm going to help you. Coming to the next point, repetition. When I'm with my notebook, all right, once I read the first points, like the point wise concentration, types of concentration, two types of concentration, this, that, then we go to the next topic, to the end of the topic. Then what I'll do is to ask myself, with the notebook being closed, then I'll ask myself question, what is concentration? Then I'm not defining according to what this point is saying. I'm defining according to what I understand. The point can say concentration is a systematical technique, blah blah blah. What I know, what is systematic? It does not make any sense, right? What I know is concentration is a kind of technique. We have gone straight into that point. It's a kind of technique. How does that technique approach? What does it do? All right. So that is the way I define it on my brain. So when I have my own point of definition on my brain, I can never forget what I've understood, unlike trying to memorize what the person has written. I don't know if I'm communicating. So in aspect of that, I define according to myself and I repeat, because sometimes after defining, like when it comes to writing that, like let's say factors affecting physiotherapy ethics, right? There's many factors are outlined, so I repeat it more. Like if I, after defining reading, I close the notes, I repeat it on my own. If I did not get the point, then I'll check, refer back, then after some time I'll try to repeat again and refer back. And another thing I did was abbreviations, like let's say factors. Okay, let's say SIP model. SIP model is a term from our book. Okay, SIP model. What are SIP? What are the basic SIP model technique? All right. So what I did was to knit it down. All right. So what I did was knit it down in such a way, like let's say if observation is there, if technique like observation, experimental, something like that, then I'll write it not in aspect of observation. I'll knit it down, like I'll use the first letter of O for observation, O. If experimental E is there, O-E. Then if subjective is there, S. If curriculum is there, C. Then I will use like OESC. Alright, like in aspect of talking about drug doping, the exam I just wrote yesterday, they say classified drug doping. Alright, so the doping of drugs. So I knit it down in such a way, like I brought all the points. Like let's say we have the anabolic steroid, then I knit it down in such a way, like steroid hormone. Like I did it S see, like I can remember what I spoke about in that because I repeated it more often, and at the same time I knitted them down. S, C, Z, Z. Okay, that is the four classification of the anabolic steroid. Now, what is S? S means steroid. C means clenbuterol drugs. You can see how it sounds so awful, so you can't remember it. But if you knit it down and you do repetition, guy, and you hit the motivation, you will be ahead. And another thing I will point out is that why the motivation is very helpful for me was that most of my classmates, they felt like it's so cold and they have to be under the blanket, and most of them do not wish to study. I know the other girl who was the second topper in the last exam, because I was not the second topper, neither the first topper. Somebody beats me. So the girl who was the second topper, she did not feel the need to study because of the cold. So she was done. Even the teacher was calling her today. She does not want to look at the teacher's face. She was just running away, not to look at her. So due to the motivation, my spirit was so high that I pushed the blanket away. So guys, my final point is strategy of writing. We have learned how you motivate yourself. You learn, you read, you knit them down in few points. Repetition, that is very important. Sometimes I repeat like 40 times for just one paper. I go through it 1, 2, 3, 4 just to remember every key point. Now the last point, which is very important, is strategy of writing the exam. Some exam you'll be surprised you're writing question 1 and time is running out. Even if you read everything, you know everything, but if you did not write everything, then you fail the exam. So the strategy which I used, because my question paper is made up in such a way whereby you post the you write the first two questions, which is just a short question, then you're jumping down to the 4 and 3 and 4 question, then we have the 5 and 6 question is divided in that category. We have the 6 and 7 question, if I'm not no we have the 3 and 4 question, 5 and 6 question, then 7 and 8 are the bigger mark question. So what I do, because I know that if I just jump in, I can just write the first one and second question, which is just small mark, and it just need you, like sometimes it will be like define this, it will be like enumerate causing factor of this, like you just have to write them in the key points, and you just have 1 hour. The exam we had, I think it was 1 hour 30 minutes, all right, and we have a lot to write. So immediately I wrote the first and second question. I jumped. I went to the 5 and 6, ignoring the third and fourth question. 5 and 6 question is like 6 mark question. So I wrote them quickly. So I immediately am finishing it. I'm looking my time because I was with a wristwatch. So I was looking my time. Then I jumped to the 7 and 8 question. All right, finish 7 question. Hit the 8th question. Then when the time was running out, I was like, let me just knit, because the 3 and 4 question is just a question of 4 marks, but you need to impress them to get that 4 mark. All right, so I have to knit it down. Like I wrote the 3rd question, wrote the 4th question, now started adding things which just to impress the teacher, bringing more points. And guys, I don't know, I saw somebody sitting down thinking, because they are in question 1 or question 2. Don't do that. If you don't remember what you've read, jump to the next question. Then later you can be recurring while writing the next question. And I think these tips are very helpful. Tell me what you think about it. Apply the technique. Motivation number 1, making your own notes point wise, and reading in aspect of knitting them down. You can use abbreviations to just remember the words. Repetition, very, very important, and your strategy in the exam hall. Thank you for watching. Have a very nice day.